Hey, Kiana. Um, I can't, I can't, this screen is different. You can? Okay. Okay, so I'll just get started then. I can't actually see anyone though. Oh, okay. So that's different. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll start then. Okay, bye. All right. Okay. Thanks everyone for being here. Um, this is the first time I've done a YouTube live video, so it's a little different from Zoom, and I can't see anybody. So I see that there's some people there though. So thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you have a block or a thick book to stand on. And it might also be useful to have a couple of pillows. So I'll just give you a minute to gather any props that you might need for today's class, and then we'll get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Tai Jimenez. I am a former principal dancer with Dance Dinner of Harlem, and I'm really happy and proud to be practicing with you tonight. I have been thinking a lot lately, especially with the current events in our world, about ancestral healing both within and without. I've heard it said that anything done without the sanction of the ancestors will yield poor results at great expense. So I thought we would start out tonight's class with a brief reading by Malidoma Somé. And he writes, "And so I offer the prayer to our common ancestors on behalf of those seeking to recover themselves from the rubble of modernity as they seek to work their way toward being elders of the new postmodern tribal order." I don't know if you just saw my dog come in, but I know in the dream language, when you see a dog, that's a message from your ancestors. So thank you. May the spirits of every pertinent direction take notice of their heart's desire. May the forces below pump strength into their feet, that they walk the walk of their life, the walk that heals the wounded truth of their bellies and keeps the eyes of their memory open so they can grow. May the ancestral fuel burn in their spiritual veins and animate their souls with vision so they can hold hands as they walk toward their future. May they wake up fast to the dialogue between the soul and the spirit. And may they labor to clean the world from its paralyzing epidemic of soul barrenness, so that tomorrow our children can sing together in peace. Ashe. All right. Chula. Bazam. Bazam. Let's lie on our backs, placing the soles of the feet together, and just allow the knees to fall wide. And we'll be here for quite a few breaths. So if this is painful, feel free to support underneath your thighs with some pillows. Gently closing your eyes, bringing your awareness to the inside of your body. Begin to fire up your Ujjayi breath, the ocean's breath, formed by making a slight constriction in the back of your throat. And just settling into the rhythm of your breath. And make sure that your shoulder blades are lying flat on the mat. Take one more deep breath in here. Deep exhale. And you can use your hands to gently close your legs, resting your soles of your feet onto the mat. And one at a time, straightening your legs. Lift your left arm over your head and your right arm across your body, and we'll roll onto our left side. Chula, bazamp, bazamp. Flexing your right foot, lifting your right foot up onto the thigh of your left leg, onto your calf, or down by your ankle. Wherever your point of contact is, press firmly the right foot into the left thigh or calf, and pressing the left leg firmly into the right foot. Send your tailbone down here, and if you feel secure, reach that right arm overhead. Reconnecting to breath if you lost the breath in this transition. And exhaling, release your right foot down by your left, turning onto your stomach. Reach the left arm out to the side and turn back onto your left side. So we're coming into a shoulder stretch here. And if you have space, you can put your right foot behind your left leg to deepen that stretch. Exhaling, releasing your arms down by your side, come back onto your back. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So reach your right arm overhead, reach your left arm across your body, and come onto your right side. Lift the left foot onto the right thigh or onto the calf, and whatever your point of contact, pressing the right leg into the left foot and the left foot into the right leg. And if your balance feels secure, reaching your left hand overhead. Exhaling to release, turn onto your stomach, reach your right arm out to the side, just an inch or two above your shoulder, and press yourself back onto your right side for a shoulder stretch here. And if you have the space to do so, step your left foot behind your right leg. Exhaling, releasing the left leg by the right foot, lifting your right arm overhead and rolling onto your back once again. With your hands, clasp the backs of the thighs and just gently roll yourself up to a seated position. Rolling over the ankles, bring the knees together, and we'll settle into an embryo pose, resting your forehead gently on the mat with your hands down by your sides. Reconnecting to breath here. And with your next inhale, gently uprighting the torso. Reach your hands back behind your hips and see if you can lift the knees any amount to come into a gentle foot stretch here. Stretching out the tops of the feet. Releasing on the exhale. Now we'll tuck the toes under and stretch out the bottoms of the feet, sitting back onto your heels. Good. And gently undoing the tuck of your toes. You can face the front of the mat, but I'm going to face the camera just to show you. We're going to come into a squat here. So angling the toes out slightly and lowering the hips. We'll be here for a few breaths. So if this is uncomfortable, feel free to support your hips with a block, okay? In your squat pose, gently clasping behind your head and letting the elbows reach down towards the floor. Coming into a gentle neck stretch here. Relaxing your face. Relaxing your jaw. Relaxing even your tongue inside of your mouth. Reach your left ear over to your left knee and find some length in the right side body. Exhaling back to center. Reach the right ear towards the right knee, finding length in the left side body. Exhaling back to center. Releasing your hands down to the floor, stretching the legs and then turning the legs back into parallel. Keep a soft bend in your knees and grab opposite elbows. Let your head hang down towards the mat and we'll come into ragdoll pose And it might feel good to gently sway from side to side, bringing weight into one leg and then into the other. Let's take another deep breath in here. Exhaling, releasing your hands down to the floor and straightening the legs any amount. And with hands on hips, gently rolling up to standing here. All right. Grab one of your blocks and or your book, and we're gonna step up onto the block. Stepping up with your left leg here. Now make sure in this position that your weight isn't sitting into your left hip. Hug your left hip in towards the midline and flex through your right foot. Exhaling, bend into your left leg and release the right foot, just hovering just above the floor. And inhale to straighten. We'll do that a few times. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling to straighten. Feeling free to hold onto a wall. Exhale to lower. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to lower. Inhale to straighten. Good. And stepping off of your block, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Coco, don't let Shulo out. Stepping up onto the block with your right leg. Make sure that you're hugging your right hip in towards the midline. And just establishing your balance. Flex through your left foot as though your left foot were also standing on something. Let's take a deep breath in here. Exhale to lower. Inhale to straighten. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling, straighten. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling, straighten. Exhaling, lower. Inhaling, straighten. And stepping off of the block. Just moving the block off to the side. Let's find mountain pose. Bringing the feet together. Distributing your weight evenly on both legs. We'll clasp the hands. Inhaling, lifting the arms up towards the ceiling, pressing through the palms of the hands, finding length through your side body. So try to lift your low ribs away from your waist. Let's inhaling here. On the exhale, we'll bend to the right. On your next inhale, coming back to center, reaching the arms far away from you. And we'll change the clasp of the hand. So you're going to put the non-habitual hand on top. Inhaling, reaching the arms away from you, up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and lift your low ribs away from your waist. It's okay if your shoulders come up by your ears. They probably will. Take another deep breath in here. As you exhale, bending to the side. Let your next inhale bring you back to standing. Exhaling, breathe. All right, good. Face the long edge of your mat, Utthita Hasta Padasana. Take a nice wide stance. Reach your arms out to the side. So the feet should be pretty much underneath your wrists. You can bring your hands to your hips We'll take a deep breath in here, find a slight arch to your back, and gently folding forward, releasing your hands down to the mat. Just let the head hang low. Lifting the kneecaps up onto the thighs. Inhale, we'll take a halfway lift and turn the feet out slightly. We're going to bend into our right knee and come up onto the left heel. And let your hips go as low as they can. You can bring your arms to heart center here, or bring your forearms down to the floor. Make sure that the left toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. With your next inhale, we'll gently walk ourselves over to the left, bending into the left knee, coming up onto the right heel, and lowering the hips any amount. If you feel secure here, you can bring hands to heart center or coming onto your forearms. Exhaling back through center, turning the legs in. Let's reach our hands to our hips and let a long spine bring you back up to standing. Turning your feet out slightly, lowering the hips once again. We'll goal post the arms and come into our goddess pose. In goddess, you can play with lifting one heel at a time and lowering. Lifting the other heel and lowering. Or maybe you lift both heels. Pausing here. See if you can sink your hips any lower. With your next exhale, releasing the heels back down to the floor and straightening the legs. Let's come to the front of our mat. We'll find Tadasana. Inhaling, reaching the arms high. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, stepping into downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling, staying in plank, holding our plank. Inhale, reaching the shoulders past the wrists. And exhaling, lowering slowly down to the mat. Untuck your toes, reach your hands by your low ribs. Inhaling, reaching the chest through the arms for our cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog, tucking the toes under into our down dog. Inhale, let's reach the right leg high. Bend the upper leg and open up the hips so you're stacking one hip on top of the other. Make sure the right ribs are still spiraling down towards the mat. The right foot is reaching towards your butt. Let's take another inhale here. Exhale, stepping the foot through the hands. We'll lower the back heel and windmill up into warrior two. Reaching both hands away from each other. Lowering the hips. Ideally, we want to try to make a right angle with that front leg. But if you're not there yet, that's totally fine. sending your gaze out towards your right hand. Inhaling, straightening the right leg. Exhaling, reaching the right arm forward, and we'll come into our triangle pose. Maybe the hand rests on your shin, or feel free to use a block, or bring the hand to the outside of the right foot. Maybe the top arm reaches forward. Keep spinning the ribs up towards the ceiling. Bending into your front leg, we're going to come into a side angle pose. So maybe the hand comes to the inside of the right foot, or maybe you rest your forearm onto the thigh. Either way, we're in side angle pose here. Hugging the outer left thigh up towards your hip and reaching your right thigh in towards the socket. Inhale, come back through warrior two. Exhale, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, and reaching into that front knee. Inhale to windmill down and flowing through plank and chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin, and cobra, or up dog. Let an exhale bring you back to downward facing dog. We'll do that on the other side. So inhale, lifting the right leg high, bend the upper leg, and stack one hip on top of the other. Make sure your ribs are still reaching down towards the mat. With your next inhale, stepping the left leg through your hands, lower your right heel, and we'll windmill up into warrior two. Lowering the hips any amount, finding length through the collarbone, settling your gaze. Hugging right outer thigh up and reaching the left hip back into the socket here. Inhale to straighten the leg. Exhaling, coming into triangle pose. The gaze can turn up towards the right thumb, but if that puts too much tension on your neck, feel free to look down towards the floor. Again, using a block here, or maybe resting the hand on the shin, either way. Maybe the right arm comes overhead. With your next inhale, we'll bend into the left knee and come into our side angle pose. You can keep the hand to the outside of the left foot, but I prefer to have it on the inside. And then with my left elbow, I'm gently guiding my left knee over my left toes. Inhaling to pass through warrior two. Exhaling, flip the front palm and reverse your warrior, making sure to continue to bend deeply into that front knee. And with your next exhale, lowering to knees, chest, chin, or low push-up. Inhaling to up dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. We'll go through that sequence once again a little bit faster. Inhaling to lift the right leg. Exhaling, stepping the right foot through, lowering the back heel, coming into warrior two. Inhale, straightening the front leg. Exhaling, coming into triangle pose. Inhaling to bend into the right leg. Exhaling for side angle pose. Inhaling, reversing your warrior. Exhaling, flowing through low push-up or knees, chest, chin, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, lifting the left leg high. Exhaling, windmilling up into warrior two. Inhaling, straighten the front leg. Exhaling, folding into triangle. Inhaling, bending into the left leg. Exhaling in side angle pose. Inhaling to pass through warrior two. And exhaling to reverse your warrior. Inhaling, windmilling down. Exhale, lowering chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhaling to up dog or cobra. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in our down dog. And exhale, walking the feet to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, coming up to standing, reach the arms high. And exhaling, Tadasana. Good. Coming to the front of your mat, we'll revisit that tree pose that we worked on earlier. So shifting your weight into your left leg, and of course, feeling free to hold on to a wall or something for support if needed. We'll bring the right foot up onto the left thigh, or the left calf, or down by the ankle, okay? Hugging the outer hip in towards the midline. And we'll bring our hands to heart center. Settling your gaze. Pressing your right foot into your left. Pressing your left thigh into your right foot. Maybe the arms reaching upward. Maybe you can play with lifting your heel any amount. Exhaling to gently release and stand with the feet slightly apart. Just take a gentle sway from side to side to release any tension that might have built up. All right, and we'll come into the same thing on the right side. So shifting your weight onto your right leg, making sure to hug that outer hip in towards the midline. And placing the left foot on the thigh, on the calf, or down by the ankle. Bringing your hands together at heart center. Finding your drishti. Reconnecting to breath. Maybe imagine that you're growing roots to connect you down into the earth and branches reaching ever upward. Maybe you play with lifting the heel and let an exhale release the pose and gently sway from side to side. Good. We'll come back down onto our mat. We're going to come into a frog pose. So if you know that your knees are sensitive, you can fold the outer edge of the mat to help pad your knees. So coming onto your knees as wide as they will go. And we're going to gently lower ourselves down to the mat. So one thing I want you to think about here is not letting your back come into an arch, okay? Keep reaching the tailbone down as you lower yourself down to the mat, okay? Try not to let your lower back fall into too much of an arch. Keep reaching the groin muscles down towards the mat here. And the soles of the feet are reaching towards each other. Reconnecting to your breath. You can stay up on forearms, or if you're all the way down, you can come down to the floor, okay? I just find that even though I'm low to the floor, I get a little bit more of a stretch if I stay up on my forearms, keep reaching the knees away from each other, and keep reaching the inner groin down towards the mat. Also, finding some length through the front body as well, right? So reaching your belly button into spine. Good. And with your next exhale, just gently walking yourself back upright, bringing the knees together, and taking a embryo pose here. Good. Inhale to come back upright. Sitting on your mat. We'll come onto our left leg and fold our left foot behind us and crossing the right over the left. And if it's difficult for your hips to reach the floor here, feel free to use a block or a pillow underneath your left hip. Okay. Gomukhasana. Reaching the left arm high, placing the palm in between your shoulder blades, and with your left hand, gently pushing, with your right hand, gently pushing your left hand back, guiding your left arm back. The tendency is to really come into an arch here, so see if you can continue to knit your ribs together. And if you would like to, feel free to come into the full bind. Let's gently fold forward, or maybe you stay right there. Hooking the chin to the outside of the right knee. Inhaling back to upright. Exhaling, releasing the arms, releasing the legs. Step the right foot down to the mat and extend the left leg long. Inhale to reach the left arm high. And exhale, hooking the left elbow outside of the right knee, coming into a twist. Exhaling, gently unwind. We'll do that on the other side. So bending the right leg. And ideally, we would like to stack one knee on top of the other. But if that feels really hard and your hips are off the ground, feel free to support that right hip. Okay. This time we'll reach the right arm high and reach the right hand between the shoulder blades. With your left hand, gently guiding that right hand back and down your spine. Hugging the ribs in towards each other and pressing the back of your head back slightly. So try not to let this position make the head fall down towards your chest. Staying here or coming into the full bind, clasping fingers or clasping onto your shirt here. And we'll fold forward. Inhale to upright the torso and exhale to gently release the arms. Place the sole of the left foot onto the mat and reach your right leg out in front of Inhaling, lift the right arm high, and exhaling to come into a twist here. Exhaling, gently release. All right. Let's reach the arms high, and we'll take a forward fold, any amount, and from here, slowly rolling down onto your back. Separate the legs wider than your mat and turn the palms up and gently closing your eyes. Releasing your ujjayi breath and just breathing normally here. And releasing any tension. Making sure your shoulder blades are lying flat on the mat. Shavasana. Releasing all effort. Okay. When you're ready, stepping one foot onto the mat and then the other, turning onto your side, and then we'll come back into an upright seated position. Bringing your hands together at heart center, lifting the knuckles of your thumbs up to your third eye. And together we bow. Namaste. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and tap the icon for alerts. I will stick around for a few minutes if there's any questions. I apologize for the interruptions. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Have a beautiful evening.